Well, welcome back to Kingsford. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for your subscriptions, thanks for views, thanks for everything. It's been really fantastic, and I really appreciate every one of them. Now, as you can see, the Dunkirk ship still sitting behind me. I do have some information for that. We're coming to that a bit later, but we're not here for that today. We're here to see where we left off last time. So let's get inside and have a look. Well, walking around this little section here as last time, it's looking okay. This is where we need to head to today. We need to get that boarded, and the reason being, I want to get this clear in this section down here, which is looking pretty good. I want more room. I want more room down there. I want to come through into the bow. You'll notice I've put on some covers where the pipes go. This one here specifically, I'm not sure what to use it for yet, but if we use it at all, but it's looking okay. As you know, if you see the last one and some others I've done, behind all these boards there's an insulation of silver backing, and then we use an expanding foam. It's 3 inches thick all the way along, and you can physically feel it's warmer in this boat, and the sound, the echo is slowly disappearing. This is going to go all the way around. Now, someone mentioned that when foam in the boat, that's dangerous. That's not dangerous. It is what it is. Foam has been put into boat since I can remember. They use it for buoyancies in a lot of boats, especially in fiberglass boats. They actually pump foam into certain sections, buoyancy. And the foams nowadays we use, they have a much more higher fire retardancy. They can hold out for a lot longer than the good old foams from the 1970s and the 1960s they used to use. Now, they were dodgy. You could light that with a match. This stuff you can't. This would take some going. It would really take some temperature to get it going. But the point was made that, there'd be fumes or whatever. Yep, I take that on board all day long. But if you get to the point where your foam is giving fumes, you shouldn't even be on the boat. Your boat's finished, it's gone. So, anyway, so what happens? How have we designed this? We look. One thing you'll notice, there's no electrics going through it at all. Zero electrics. That doesn't mean to say we can't put electrics in there. The electrics are going to run through the top section, all the way around the top. And at the moment, I can't see any reason why we would need electrics to go behind the board, because we're going to have units here, units here, units here, so they can come in from the top or the bottom. So, but if we do, that's not an issue. It's no big deal. If we were to go to put an electric box in here or a socket, bear in mind the biggest cause of fires on boats is electric, but it's normally because it's been put in badly, very badly. So, what would you have behind here? Firstly, you cut your box in, which would be a metal box. All my metal boxes are lacquered as well, so it stops them from degrading. You then have a pipe behind the board, or Copex. Even if you put something on the front of the board behind furniture, we'll have something like this coming down to a metal box. So, and that metal box is then sealed. There's no way you're going to have a problem with that at all. That isn't going to happen. And then we have this other stuff. It's actually it's a fire foam, and I use this around electric boxes in panels. Literally, when the box goes in, fire foam goes around it. Now this one here, for example, fire retardant single component PU foam with non-hazardous propellant. So up to 240 minutes. I mean, 25% yield. This is really good stuff. It's quite expensive. Absolutely useless for insulation. Absolutely useless. It doesn't expand, so you can't use it for that. And basically, it's when it sets, it tends to be very, very porous. How it sets, I don't know why it seems to be crumbly and brittle. Brilliant for putting around boxes. Brilliant for putting around these and sealing boxes up. But for big areas, no. Plus, this is about 3 times the price. But I do use it. So, we will have a little chat about what we do with electrics and to stop fires, because I'll tell you now, fires on boats, absolutely critical when it comes to electrics. First thing we're going to do now, this is a bit of an experiment for me as well, because if you looked at the last video, you'll notice that the sound went all funny when we went to the other cabin. That's because the GoPro, I actually broke the GoPro. So this is a different camera. This is an Action 5, yep, Action 5 from DJI. I've got different mics coming for this, so I'm relying on the mic and the camera, so hopefully it's okay, because the GoPros are rubbish. Last time, I did manage to get one of the boards completely proofed. I proofed it again and made ready to go here. The boat itself, believe it or not, I know this board looks quite straight, but actually the boat strut tilts because the boat goes out here and then back in, but we can't have that, we've got to keep it straight. So this is our first board, what's been cut, and that does fit in there. I'll end up having to put a screw in this for the time being, just to hold it into place. That to do with a little bit just down the bottom there, just here. That'll do it. Right, on to the corner one. Obviously they've got to be sanded and planed yet, so hopefully that will fit in there. And that fits in. Nice. I'll just put a holding screw in for that, because we're going to have to, we're looking at the bottom now along this piece here. I'm going to keep it at that level, and so I'll build this up, and then it will just be the silver fireproof foam at the back, which is 10mm insulated as well. So that's the job. Well, it looks like the little ship is on the move. We'll have a look at it later. Plenty on that. There's no way this is coming off in a hurry. Okay, so right. Nice thing about this, you don't have to worry about the glue. It's all going to be sanded and sealed. One done. So basically this will go on, once it's sanded, this will go onto the back, something like this. So the board will screw onto this. This will be the bottom. This will be treated now, and then sanded, treated, then bonded on. We won't do too much with the, make it look nice, because it doesn't need to. It's serving a purpose. It's going to be basically something to screw a board to. That bit of the old homemade mix of seal and preservative, just bash it on, literally. Let that soak right in. Let it dry out. Takes about half an hour for this to dry. Make sure you get it right into these edges here. I've been putting this onto boats for years, and I'll tell you what, I took some panels off a boat, what I'd done must have been 5 years ago, and it looked like they'd only just been put on. It's just messy, hence the gloves. One thing I'm going to mention, when I was discussing about foam and stuff like that, and basically foam doesn't cause fires, etc., there was a bit of a conversation going on about what I'm going to put on the floor, and someone suggested cork, and I thought that was quite a good idea. And I googled it up and I've looked at it, and I've looked at people putting it down and using all types of polymers and stuff with it, and I'll tell you what, that's really impressive. It really is impressive. And I thought I might give it a go, and at the worst, if I don't like it, you know, well, I'm not putting it in the galley and the shower rooms, obviously, just I have this problem with having so many areas in the boat where I need to have access hatches, which is going to be causing me some problems. But I thought that was a good idea, because if I don't like it, I can just leave it and say, all right, I've got a great insulation underneath the floor. It will just stay. Right, let them dry. These are now bonded in. This is where the bottom of the panels will be. They're now exactly in the right position, so we get a nice flush panel. We will end up foaming this side here, and then we're fast silver foam at the base. Now we're heading into this one again. It's basically, this one's a little bit of insulation, both sides. The board's cutting first for this side. We won't touch these at the moment. Obviously we've got to do something a little bit more there, and then we'll head to the other side. Getting a little dark a bit earlier. Now, where are we? We are, battens are in here. These two pieces which we've done on this side over here are now made up. They're ready to go and be bonded in place. The two panels are made for the side of the tank, so they're ready. Now they need to go. I need to put these ones on first, because one of the main ones I want to put on is this one here. And what I decided to do is socket plus television. So the TV's here, but there'll be two sockets go at either end. And because this level here will have a top on it coming across, I'll judge how far I can come up. I want to put two USB-Cs either end, just underneath, but we can build them in. That comes in really when we start putting the trims on, and we can put something in where they go. But we have to bear in mind the cables, so I've left cable runs to come from underneath along here, so that will get to our sockets and to our TV. We're on the second morning now, so day 2. So as I go through, I'm ordering insulation. This stuff is 10mm. I'm working through obviously the panels still, but it's in my way at the moment, so anything I've got what I can go on the ceiling now, I will put on the ceiling. Basically this stuff, really good stuff. It's really sticky, should use gloves really. But basically I'll pull off the backing, and as we go, anything like that, it's a little more quick. That. Grab the plate of backing. These are awkward bits because I've got these little ceiling panels. The nice thing about this stuff is I can drop my cables in front of it for my downlights or any electrics going in, and basically, I'll bring you up and I'll show you what I mean. Really tight, bond's lovely. Make sure you go over it. But that is brilliant stuff. I'll put a link in, believe it or not. I get that from Timo. They outdo everybody in the UK for this stuff. The trouble is, you do have to wait for it. So, look at that. I can feel myself warmer just by looking at it. But it goes on lovely. I do actually use a PVA before I put this on. Basically it's just a standard PVA mixed. I use about, literally it's quite a weak mix, 6 parts water to 1 part PVA, and I just literally, before I start putting the foil on, I just go over the whole thing, and that does 2 things. First of all, it gets rid of the dust. Secondary, it gives you a fantastic bond. PVA, absolutely everything. You don't have to go mad. Just get it on. It will dry, and then that's ready for the foil to go on. That one was done a little while ago, that side. So, because I had good intentions, and now good intentions stopped. Something else come up. But this will give it a lovely base and get rid of the dust. That ain't falling down in a hurry. I might as well do the whole lot, because I think I've got plenty in the pot. I've got a lot. I ain't got that much to do. Coming together. If you're a bit uncertain about if it's going to hold, just get a little bit of contact adhesive and just spray it on the one side, just like that. That's all you need, because this has already got a bond on it. That will never ever come down. It will never come down. So I've done it on a little bit of these. These are pretty good, to be honest. But I thought, you know what? I've got loads of this. I'll just put a bit on. It goes on easy enough, and you can just leave it. That will just sit there, and time to get through with the old silver foil, silver insulation with the foam backing. That'll just go bang, job done. Right, go along with these. Give that a few minutes. This bit's actually in. I use my little stick to push it into the places, but we actually do have the entire ceiling in the aft done. Now I could get another one, but I doubt it's going to need it. It's 10mm all the way around, and it's fairly robust stuff. We've also got the foam now in the back, sitting there, so we're back onto the boards. Would have been a lot easier without the cables being there. I've done a little bit of wiring beforehand, but not to worry. I'm as sticky as anything. I'm going to give my hands a good old scrub. It's terrible stuff to work with. We're going to have a look at this little ship, shall we? Believe it or not, there's still water coming out of this boat from where it sunk. just amazes me to think that this little ship more than likely done that trip across the channel in June 1940. I hope the owner actually does something with this, even if it just gets it floating again. Be nice. The cost of bringing these little ships back to life is astronomical. It will make our ocean pirate look like a piggy bank. That would be like the tiny deposit you would need to get that started. And our boat, our ship, is looking like a workshop. Lovely evening for it though. Look at all my windbreaks. Soon the covers will be going on. For the last time, the covers will be going on. Lovely. There's some lovely boats around here. Now, look at that. They've all appeared. That's because I've stopped painting. Yeah, they've all stopped. They've all appeared now because we can't do any painting. I think they're a bit worried about me. Fair play. Looking lovely. Well, we're on the last bit for the evening. Now, I've cut the board ready. It's all been treated already on the back, so that's all been done. So for now, I'm just going to screw this into place and then I can tell you what I'm going to do with it. So, it's literally got to come down again. This isn't it. Just got to try and get it roughly where it wants to sit. In fact, I'll put it the wrong way up. And even this box at the back, which is going to hold a generator, which I'll tell you about in a sec, is not square. That's not too bad where it is. It's good enough for now. Good enough for now. Just get one screw in there. It's this one, isn't it? Okay, so this isn't actually exactly where it's going to sit. In actual fact, it's a bit high at this end, but it doesn't matter. The sideboards are on. Just have a look. They're all on. This needs trimming down a little bit on the edge, but we're not quite ready for this board yet, to be honest. Trying to keep the shadows out of the way. And a little bit over this side, so we're not square. It doesn't matter because we just need the board to be cut and ready, which it is. So what goes on here? Here will be a TV item which will go in the middle, so to hold a TV. Just here somewhere there'll be a 230 volt socket for the TV, and there'll be a TV aerial. Now I'm considering at the bottom to put 2 more sockets, one either side. And I think that's all the sockets you're going to need in this room. I don't think you're going to need any more anywhere else. All the cables will run on the underside. Little story. I did actually find 2 engines online. In actual fact, I found 4 engines. They're both from the same company. 2 of them are 100 horsepower Pentas with turbos, which would do this boat. I've been told 80 to 120 is absolutely fine. It's not a racing boat anymore. Take it up on the plane with the turbos, cruise at about 4 litres per hour per engine, 2.5, 3 litres I'd like for diesel. The other 2 were 120s, Volvos, Pentas again. And I phoned up about it and left a message. Nothing. Emailed. Nothing. Phoned up again. Nothing. Went on their contact page, left a message. Nothing. Okay, I thought, I looked on their site again today. I'm not going to say who they are, because the girl I spoke to eventually, is quite a nice girl, and see it advertised another two. So I thought, okay, looked at Google reviews, and they've got good reviews. So I think I'm dealing with a genuine company. So anyway, I left one more message. This time it was on a mobile phone managed to get hold of. And lo and behold, someone called me back. And I said, yep, we've got a young girl. She says, yes, yeah, we've got 2 Caterpillar engines. And I said, I don't want 2 Caterpillar engines. I mean, I'm trying to avoid that type of engine. And I said, it's the Pentas. And she went, oh, no one's told me about the Pentas. And I said, well, you're selling them on your site. And she went, oh, I don't know what's on the site, on the sales. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, so I described the advert, give her the exact details of the engines. She says, someone will call you back. I think they are there, yes. Well, today's Friday. I can't remember, it's the 5th or the 6th. Well, it's Friday, for end of the first week of November. And not a thing. Not a thing. And you get to the point of almost giving up with these, and oh dear. I've still got them 2 in Spain. Take care, people. We'll be coming back next time.